can't believe we fired Craig. Or did he just not show up for work? I mean,
one
we
time.
could go with either one.
It only took 4 episodes for Craig to be done with recording for us.
The quiet quitting is real.
Quiet quitting? How do you pronounce this guy's name? I would say Giark. I don't know. Well, okay. Hi everybody. Welcome in. I'm Johnny, and we have a new guest today on the podcast, and a Nav envoy, Torby.
Hello.
We have our returning people, DJD.
Howdy.
And Farmer.
How's it going? Craig
is a no call, no show. So back there in the booth, we have his twin, Giark. We don't know how to say his name. Welcome in.
It's foreign.
Welcome in. I never thought we would have an episode without Craig.
I really didn't either. He's been such a staple.
Yeah, I mean, I am at a loss for words, actually.
I was really looking forward to meeting Craig today, but
do you think that's the issue here?
Maybe, yeah. For Craig, he's like four's a crowd.
Craig's like, nope, wow. Can't show up today.
I'm hurt.
I know. Craig, what is Craig's problem? Hopefully Craig will be back next week. I don't know. But, hopefully Giark does his job fine. We'll see. But yeah, welcome in. Travis, welcome in. Torabi.
I was gonna say you might wanna let the fine people know that you call me by several different names so that they're not confused.
Maybe not all the names.
Right.
So there's Torabi, there's Torabi, there's Travis, there's Toey. I like to call him the Big Toe. As we get started, I actually have a topic I would like to talk about. Did anyone see the teaser drop for Moana 2?
Yes.
I did not.
I am super pumped. Moana is my favorite Disney princess. I really love that movie. So the fact that they're making a sequel, I'm super excited about it. And Lin-Manuel Miranda is not writing the music for it. The people writing the music for it, they're called Barlow and Bear. It's 2 girls. They wrote a musical called The Unofficial Bridgerton Musical, which is very popular in my home. And apparently, they've been working on this project secretly for 2 years. Because when the trailer dropped, they were like, guess what, guys? Like, it's been so hard to keep a secret, but we've been doing this for 2 years. And I thought that they were not going to keep writing music together, because they released that musical and they seem to kind of go their separate ways. But I am super pumped for it. Is anyone aware of some of the controversy about the movie? I've been reading on threads.
What is the controversy?
Well, last week I talked about fans of things canceling things before they come out and how I don't like that. Guess what I found about Moana 2?
Well, can I just say I don't know anything about it because I didn't see the teaser trailer like I just said.
Can I guess the controversy?
Oh, go ahead. Guess the controversy, D. This will be good.
Is the controversy that it's not coming straight to VHS and not going to theaters with a sound-alike voice actor? Because that's what I'm experienced with Disney sequels. That's my past history.
That's part of it. Is I believe Auli'i, who is the girl who did Moana's voice, is coming back. But so far, The Rock is not confirmed to be back. Lin-Manuel Miranda is not doing the music. The original directors aren't directing it, so they're like, that's part of it. Is like all of the original people aren't a part of it. The other part about it is that it was apparently, I don't know where this information is coming from. They're saying it was originally supposed to be a Disney Plus show that got canceled and is being repurposed into a movie. That's
interesting.
What they're saying here. So my take on that is, as much as I love Disney Plus shows, a lot of them could have been 2-hour movies.
Sure. Yes. Or tighter, at least. Yeah.
Yeah. The one I would bring up is the Obi-Wan show specifically. I loved that show. Has everyone here seen that?
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we have.
Also, I really loved that show. It was the show that got me to start watching Star Wars Disney Plus shows. it would have been an awesome 2.5 hour movie instead of like a 6 episode show.
Yeah.
I think. So I think that that's great. If it was a Disney Plus show and then they scrapped it and they were like, well, we've already been working on like animation and stuff, so let's see if we can make it a movie. Perfect. Cut all the fat from it and make it a nice movie.
I don't disagree with that. Yeah.
I think there's that balance, between the shows and then the movies. There's definitely a place where it needs to be a movie, but sometimes I think they flip-flop them. They get them a little wrong. Sometimes there's too much, and they do need to cut them down to being, just, none of that extra. Cut it down and make it 100%, good quality instead of just okay quality.
I'm so curious. I am absolutely very, very intrigued where everything's going to land, because it seems like everybody went to TV shows, right? Because then you can get people on your streaming platform. But then everyone went back to movies because TV shows aren't making enough. But then movies aren't making as much in theaters because a lot less people are going to the theaters. I'm so curious where everything's going to land in terms of the balance between TV shows and movies, or just straight to streaming platforms and theatrical releases, I guess.
Well, I was going to mention that I think that Disney Plus and probably plenty of other places as well have they have not struck that balance because they went away from the traditional 18 to 22 episode season television show where you can tell these long form stories, and they have decidedly gone for 6 to 9 episode shows. And while that's sure more than a movie, it's also less than a full length story. So I feel like we're missing out on a lot of stuff, or we're getting too much of, like you said, that fat in the television shows. It's like, well, you shouldn't be in the middle here. Choose either a movie or a long form television show, and people will be much happier.
True, because don't they technically call them miniseries?
Right.
They don't call them TV shows, and I know part of that's because they're not on TV, but it's more like a miniseries. I've been watching this show that was on FX called Mayans MC, and there's only 13 episodes, but having come off watching shows made for streaming services, I was watching a lot of Disney Plus shows, and I had watched some Netflix only shows. It is really interesting to see the difference in pacing. It's just different. I don't know how to explain it. It feels different, even though I'm watching it on the same medium. It's and
it's a big difference when you're getting let's say you're doing a 20 episode TV show and your budget. You can kind of see the difference. Sometimes they tell great stories, but they don't have that backing. And you can see it on certain episodes. Some episodes you can just tell, okay, that's the low budget episode, and now they're going to ramp back the next week with the high budget one, and then
oh man,
and I'm okay. I like that to a certain extent, as long as it's in the flow of what they're trying to do. But I think there definitely needs to be the balancing between that. Get your show in the miniseries, because there's been a lot of good ones there. But there's been a lot of bad ones that don't know how to, do it right. And then between the movies, they have to figure out a little bit better where to put them.
My problem is that I don't have the time to watch really a 24 episode season of a show where the story plot moves agonizingly slowly per episode, with tons of filler. I just don't have the patience or the time for that anymore.
This says the guy who's been trying to make me watch all of Lost. Okay.
Touche.
I like my 6 to 9 episode shows when it comes down to it, when they're done well. But the problem is, like you said, pacing, right? Pacing is a huge issue for that, where they just haven't nailed that, I feel like, in most cases.
I just saw on Disney Plus, Marvels just came out.
Yep.
I still haven't seen that movie. I want to watch it, though. I'm excited.
You should. Yeah.
I know that David and I both thoroughly enjoyed it. And I think there's a lot of fun moments. I think that some of it's rushed, but overall, I think it's a good movie.
I would concur.
Would you prefer rushed over too slow? That's the question.
I mean, I would prefer balanced, but
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in a perfect world, it would always be perfect, right?
I suppose rushed, yeah, because too slow, that gets boring, and you just want to stop watching at that point.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get through the movie and you're like, oh wow, that happened really fast. It's like, well, I can go watch another movie now.
Yeah. Or you can slow it down halftime speed,
Right.
Soak it all in. Soak it all in.
I was actually just watching the 2016 Suicide Squad prior to the release of the game. And, well, it turns out when you put that on 2x speed, it's actually more enjoyable.
Wow.
Dang.
Oh, man.
That movie is iconic just because he's like, what are we, some kind of Suicide Squad?
I know you were very excited. You're really hoping that that's somewhere in the Suicide Squad Kills the Justice League game.
It better be.
But I'm here to tell you, Johnny, that I don't know if it is or not because I haven't played the game yet.
I don't think I'm going to play that.
Drop the mic.
I think I'm going to play that game. I'm kind of sad. But for those listening who don't know Travis very well, Travis is a big-time MCU fan. I saw on Threads, Travis, that Elon Musk was talking about buying Disney or something like that.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
To him, I say good luck. You can't afford it.
That is true. I don't think he's rich enough.
Well,
Also-
so the way that he bought Twitter was that he sold a bunch of stock, right? And then immediately, like, he starts having issues with the companies that he sold the stock with. So, I mean, like, I don't think he can spare anymore.
Exactly. And then on top of that, Disney doesn't need your help running themselves into the ground. They're good enough at that themselves.
Yeah.
So just
Well-
don't even try.
How does that make sense with all these different lawsuits he's been funding against Disney,
Yeah, that
Well, I
doesn't make a
think
lot of
that's-
sense, does it?
That's his, like, point, though, I think, would be like, I'm going to change it or whatever. And it's like, I don't know.
You'll change it. You'll change it just like X.
Just
Yeah.
like Twitter. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Disney becomes a part of X. How great would that be?
Oh, my gosh.
I would.
Did you guys see the epic Disney trailer?
Oh yeah,
That's
I did.
kind of interesting. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm super
did.
curious to see how that manifests. Do we have any details on that? I don't think we do, right?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm looking it up. Epic Disney trailer. Oh, what?
Oh yeah.
Oh, I understand what you. Okay, you said, did anyone see the epic Disney trailer? And by epic, you meant Epic Games.
Right.
I thought there was an epic Disney trailer that
Like,
I had
what are they
missed
releasing now?
somehow. I know. What? Crazy. Oh, I see. Okay. I feel like a boomer saying that. So wait, do I get to play as Moana in Fortnite? Is that what's going to happen now?
So the details that we have are very minimal, but I would say what it looks like to me is that there's going to be essentially a Disney World hub world that you can go to, where you can experience things within the Disney Plus, ESPN, Star Wars, Avatar, MCU, worlds, right? Not necessarily going to have all of these characters available to use within the Battle Royale, because I cannot imagine Disney saying, hey, yeah, we want Moana to be able to shoot Goku, right? Like, I feel like they would have an issue with that.
I don't know
but
why, because it sounds awesome.
It sounds great.
The best
Let's have
thing
Moana
ever.
face off against Mario with guns. That would be great. I would love
But
that.
little Susie is not going to appreciate seeing her favorite Disney princess blowing Bugs Bunny up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that's going to fly very well.
I don't know. I think it would. It's just, oh, man, I'm excited. Wow.
I would think that maybe some of Avatar characters, though, will get over into the Battle Royale aspect.
Absolutely.
It's just so curious because the way that they phrase it is that it's like a cinematic, like, universe kind of thing. And so, like, I'm just really, really curious. Like, does that mean that it's going to be a hub world inside of Fortnite or something? Or is it going to be something completely separate? Like, I don't know.
Right.
And how does that bode for Disney's Dreamlight Valley? What will that change?
Oh, gosh. Oof.
Yeah, Disney's Dreamlight Valley is going to get shut down and it's going to become a game mode in Fortnite. I could see it.
Oh, man.
One thing I will say is that I think it was Bob Iger, I believe, the Disney CEO right now, who said that it's going to be a couple of years before that actually launches. So
maybe Elon Musk will be
right.
CEO by then.
Oh Lord. I do have a little bit of news for those of you that do care about Fortnite. There are no known dates, but apparently Doc Ock is coming to Fortnite. There's going to be a One Piece collab, Final Fantasy, Masters of the Universe, the Fantastic Four, Peacemaker. So
did they say which Final Fantasies?
No.
I mean, probably 7 for sure.
I would imagine Cloud and Sephiroth are coming.
Yeah, I wonder how many characters, because there are some non-main Final Fantasy VII characters that I would really love to see, that I would totally buy.
Since we're on the topic of Fortnite, is everybody aware of the collab that's going on right now in
The
Fortnite?
TMNT one? Yeah.
Yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, let's go.
I was considering buying all of the turtles this morning.
We even have Lego Splinter now, which I think is just crazy cool.
That's
just
wild.
awesome right
That's
there.
pretty neat. Yeah.
Yeah, what a crazy time to be a Fortnite player.
Right.
I know.
I would
it's so good.
I would say Fortnite, if any game could be called quadruple A, I would say Fortnite probably could be considered that.
I would agree with
probably not Skull and Bones, even though the Ubisoft CEO called it that earlier this week. But
I read that.
I really hope the best for that game, though, especially for
I do.
Daniel's sake.
But
Daniel
calling
really
it
is
a
looking
quadruple A, I mean, oof. Like,
Yeah.
Wait, Daniel really likes it? What game are we talking about?
Daniel's really looking forward to Skull and Bones. He's really hoping that it turns out to be a good game.
Is he playing it right now?
I don't think so.
Well, it's in open beta.
Right.
Yeah. I just downloaded
Daniel
that.
has been
I
playing a
haven't
lot
touched
of
it yet.
Monster Hunter. What kind of game is this? I don't even know what this is. What?
It is
Skull and
not.
Bones?
It is not Sea of Thieves. They say. Do not call it Sea of Thieves. They say.
It really isn't. It's really not.
More like Oceans of Scallywags, you might say.
It's more of, where Sea of Thieves, where you're like off your ship a lot. This is more of like actually staying with your fleet, staying with your ship. You know,
Sure.
fighting from
Sure.
your ship.
When this game first got announced, you were the ship, though. Like, that was the gameplay. Like, it's gone through so many iterative changes. I'm just so curious how it'll
It's
end
Assassin's
up, like,
Creed Black
landing.
Flag.
No, it's not.
It is.
Nope, it's not
It is
that.
specifically not.
Yeah, they actually say that.
Which is kind of wild because this game evidently came about because people were like, we love Assassin's Creed Black Flag because of the ship mechanics and stuff like that. And they're like,
I loved
Great.
it too. It was so great.
we're going to make a game like that. And then it's not that at all.
So you guys have really told me a lot about what this game isn't. About what this game isn't. So it's not the steampunk airship game that I was asking for a few episodes ago.
It's not. No, not yet.
What is this game called? Skull and Bones. I'm like
Skulls
Crossbones.
and Bones.
Well, Skull and Bones. Let me look at images.
It's been
Well,
delayed
let me
for
tell
4
you,
years.
looking at images, I can see why they say it's not either of those games because it really looks like both, but we're not going to get a Ubisoft sponsorship at this point.
We probably won't even.
Yeah,
be
we're
able to
not
have
holding our
tuna
breath, but
on a
I was going to
podcast.
say, I mean, like, next time that they make a good game, maybe then we can start wanting a Ubisoft sponsorship. But I don't see any reason to want one right now.
I haven't been happy with Ubisoft since Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. Still
So-
mad about it.
Here you go.
I've gone into several different people's stream doing Skull and Bones, and everybody I've talked to says it's a lot of fun, fantastic to play with friends, and I know Tuna's excited about it, and I'm pretty excited to play it myself. So
Good. I really truly hope that it's good.
I think it's always good when a game succeeds and gives people what they want and offers a unique experience. Like, I'm always a proponent for that. So yeah, same.
Can I stay on the ship and just cook and fish all day like I do in Sea of Thieves? That's what I want to know. Because that's what I want to do.
Mm-mm. I don't think
No,
so.
you can't do it.
I don't think it's like that.
Failure at launch. Broken at launch. Unhappy. Lame.
Wow.
You say that, but you didn't like Sea of Thieves when it launched.
I
and you
still
didn't
don't like
play
Sea
it
of
for
Thieves. I still don't like
It took us forever to get you to play it, and then once you did play it, it's just like, oh, I'm gonna go fish. I'm gonna go cook.
When I play Sea of Thieves, I have a good time until I see another player. I might as well just sink my own ship at that point. As soon as another player comes into my view, it's just like, oh, we just lost everything and are going to have to start over.
They have private servers now. We should
They
jump
have
in.
a new mode for you, Johnny, where you would be happy.
Maybe I'll reinstall it.
Well,
Daniel playing Monster Hunter World has made me want to play Monster Hunter World again.
You really should. You guys convinced me to download Sea of Thieves, and then it came out on Xbox Game Pass. So I bought it on Steam. So I'm just saying that. I'm just saying, Anav owes me like $30.
The only reason I laugh so hard about that is because that is me every single time. A day before a game comes out, I get it. And it just happened to me 2 days ago. I kid you not.
You should check what's coming on Game Pass. You should check.
I should. I have a problem.
Things like a month in advance.
They do. They announce, and apparently I am not on that wavelength because I get it, and the next day it's like, oh, this is on Game Pass. Oh, no.
Yeah, I actually just had that happen recently, and I was joking about Anav owing me $30. But for Christmas, I had a friend of mine, Revolution, he gifted me Guardians of the Galaxy on Steam. And then the next week, it became free on Epic. But here's the kicker: is it's been on Xbox Game Pass for a while now, and I didn't realize, and I had left it on my my wish list. So he bought it for me for Christmas, and now I just feel like a turd.
Left Game Pass like recently. But yeah, great game though, fantastic game. Nails the tone of Guardians of the Galaxy. Very different from like the movies, but nails the tone. I feel like.
Right. That's actually a game on my list to play. I'm excited to play it, but I need to get time to play it.
Yep, it's on my list for 2024.
Definitely play with the actual like in-game like non-streamer soundtrack, not the streamer soundtrack, because the streamer soundtrack is limited, and they have a lot of licensed songs at certain moments that just hit like really well. So
gotcha. So not a good one to really stream then if you want the full fill.
I mean, you can, but like just like then like private the VOD or whatever, or export to YouTube where.
But you won't
options.
get the full. You won't get the full fill. You know, full fill the game.
Well, so what I did was after I discovered that, I basically played through the entire game with the licensed music on, and then after stream, I would private my VOD and export it to YouTube. Because there's music options on YouTube and you don't get struck as often. So
interesting. Good to know.
Sorry, I'm back. I was installing Monster Hunter World on my Xbox. I'm back now. It's like, but then I had this terrible problem because I have an Xbox Series S that I'm like, here's Monster Hunter World, let's install it. And then they're like, guess what? You don't have enough high speed space. So I'm like, oh my God. So I had to rearrange. I'm like moving stuff off of the internal onto the external so that instead of just uninstalling it, because moving it between is faster, right? And now I'm installing Monster Hunter World.
So what did you move? What did you get rid of?
I moved Baldur's Gate 3, which is pretty big, because I mostly play that at home. I don't think I'm going to play it on stream, so I'll move it.
For those of you that are not in the audience right now, because audience would know, but those of you that are listening on any of the various sites or podcast listening places, we waited for 3 hours for Johnny to come back. That's why he said, hey, I'm back. I know he cut that length out. We waited for 3 hours for him to come back.
Yeah, I'm
still waiting.
Guys. I'm back. Sorry about that. Now I'm just watching the install. I'm watching the install now.
We actually watched the Marvels in Discord while waiting for you.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate it. And because of podcast magic, people wouldn't know except that we're talking about it.
Right. Sorry. My bad.
Yeah.
Or I could leave all 3 hours in, and it's the longest podcast we've ever done.
Oh, and
those
by
mile
the way,
markers, we got to hit them somehow.
It is not Friday right now. Sorry to destroy the illusion.
Yeah, it's not Friday. We actually talked about this last. This podcast is recorded on 2 different days. It's Sunday for me, and it is a different day for everyone else.
Sunday's going to look a little bit different in the United States for us, Johnny, because tomorrow is Super Bowl Sunday.
Oh, and right. That's a thing in America. Anyway, Travis, I know where you're going with this. Would you like to continue?
Do you know where I'm going with this?
Are we going to talk about T Swift?
Nope.
Oh, hold on.
I got you.
Actually, though, another member of Nav went to Taylor Swift's concert here in Tokyo yesterday. Logan went to the Taylor Swift concert yesterday.
What?
I know, and he's not even a Taylor Swift fan. His wife is, and they went together. I should text him, ask him how it was.
You should. But also, no, I wanted to tell you guys that y'all should be watching the Super Bowl, not for the game, because who cares about the Chiefs and the 49ers? Definitely not us. But because Deadpool 3 trailer tomorrow.
What? Really?
I did not know that. What?
Yep. So that's something you guys can talk about on next week's podcast, is the Deadpool trailer.
Ooh, with Wolverine.
Yeah. Yep.
No spoilers.
No spoilers.
Do you guys think that Wolverine is actually going to be in the movie, or do you think it's just like a gimmick and he's going to be in it for like a minute and then leave?
Well, there was a trademark filing for 4 different trademarks for the title of the movie, and one of them was Deadpool and Wolverine. So, I think he will actually be in it.
I think with all the stuff that they've kind of shown on from Hugh Jackman and everything, and back from Ryan Reynolds, it seems like there's going to be more than just a little bit. I mean, they could be, pulling the wool over our eyes. I mean, it wouldn't put it past them to do something like that because of who they both are and like their friendship, and whatnot.
Yeah.
But I think there might be something more.
We'll see. I don't know. I love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, but I'm just tired of the constant this is his last time as Wolverine. Like I've heard that a lot.
But isn't he the one always saying that though? Not anybody else, but like he's like, I'm done.
Yeah, well, you know what? Like I'm getting tired of it. It's just kind of like freaking like I thought that he's like the guy that's like, I'm leaving everyone, and we're like, all right, bye. And then he's like, I'm definitely gonna go. It's gonna happen. And we're like, we said goodbye already.
Yeah, we already made peace with it. Why are you back?
Which is a bummer because I love his Wolverine. I don't want to seem like I don't, but like, yeah, I'm just kind of, it's like, well, no, I shouldn't say that on the podcast. I'm going to say it anyway. It's like how Kim Jong-un keeps threatening to fire missiles, right?
Oh, no.
And we're all just like, sure you will. Sure you will, buddy. Like, it's
don't
like
taunt
that.
Dictators, okay? Don't taunt dictators.
I don't think he listens to this podcast. I really don't.
Imagine
that one person.
Imagine he's got his translator and they're like, check out this podcast.
Listen, this is how the interview happens, where we get invited out to North Korea. Kim Jong-un's just a big Anav fan.
Yeah,
and more importantly, a Johnny Bailey fan.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, don't you recognize me? I've been subscribed to you on Twitch for forever. And I'm like, oh my god,
I listen to all your music, Johnny. All your music.
I don't know. Is Spotify in North Korea? I'm gonna check it. Hold on.
I really doubt it.
In North Korea. Where is Spotify available? It is available in South Korea. Appreciate that. It is not available in North Korea. Wow, sad.
Well, he is, the leader, so I'm sure that he could make an exception.
He could make it happen.
Yeah.
He's got a VPN. I'm sure he's got a VPN or something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I can actually look right here, the countries that Spotify's not in.
That's a great segue into our sponsor today, which is ExpressVPN. No, I'm just kidding.
ExpressVPN. You say that. I actually do have an associate link for ExpressVPN. If anyone wants that, feel free to hit me up on Instagram. I can get you, I think, a few months free. Yeah, go ahead and hit me up at DIJADI on any social media.
That joke never gets old.
No, it never does.
Never
It
does. Never
I
does.
love that joke. Travis, I'm glad you're on the podcast because I actually have a topic I wanted to discuss with you specifically.
Okay.
Would you say that Puerto Rico is a country?
Oh Lord.
I feel like we're going along already. We probably don't have time for this topic.
Would you say that? Would you say Puerto Rico is a country?
Here's the weird thing is I feel like I'm not educated enough to answer any questions on countries or states or United States of America purchasing plots of land or anything like that. So I don't feel like I have like a solid answer for you here, Johnny.
All right. Well,
That's a
you
good
heard it here
answer.
first, everyone. We're ignorant. So
Wow.
As you can tell by watching any of us play GeoGuessr.
yeah. All right. Let me go ahead and delete that off my list of topics for today. Is Puerto Rico a country? It's been on there for weeks. Let me delete
Man. Let me Google it real quick.
It's literally been like 2 weeks since that topic came up. But okay.
But so Monster Hunter, I want to go back because Daniel's been playing Monster Hunter. I'm installing Monster Hunter World. I have 131 hours in Monster Hunter Rise on the Switch. I've been
Those are
playing it
weak
quite a bit
numbers.
with my son. And playing Rise, it is fun. I'm excited to play World again, but the problem is I really wish Monster Hunter had crossplay.
Yep, same, actually. I was just
Kinda
talking to
surprising
Cupcake
that it
about
doesn't.
that. Yeah.
I'm surprised that it doesn't too, but I mean, it is like a previous gen game also.
Well, and also the multiplayer in that game just functions a little bit kind of weirdly,
True.
So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to Wilds and seeing whether that does.
Well, I think that goes back to a little bit of the networking that Nintendo uses still to this day. I think they're experimenting with new things like that. But as of past games, it's always been very interesting how they approach the networking.
Monster Hunter Rise, it's a little bit better than World as far as like being able to join people and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm really excited for Wilds. So this comes to another topic I wanted to bring up. How do you guys feel about these really long announcements, like way ahead of time? Monster Hunter Wilds doesn't have a release date except for 2025. That's like more than a year away.
I actually hate it.
I
don't wanna know.
It. I hate it, but I hate leaks even more when it comes down to it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
I
mean,
agree with that.
Yeah, I'm of the same mindset, honestly, because it gets traction in, I think, ahead of time. You're tracking this game, and then you're like, you get to the point where you're like, well, I don't even care anymore because it's been so long. At least that's how I feel. I'm like, when's this going to come out? I've lost interest. And then you got all these other things like leaks. I think they happen more because people are looking, in a sense, ahead of time. And so people are like, okay, well, we need to revamp these series that we love. At least I could see that. I could see that happening because, when you launch a game, and we know several of them. When you launch a game or you announce a game, I guess, several years ahead,
Mm-hmm.
it's just like, come on.
Right.
How can you release it like 7-8 years later? When you go to E3 or used to go to E3, RIP.
Yeah.
Rip.
Right. When you see those trailers and you see them, you're expecting a year, maybe 2 at the most. And then when they push it off for like 5-6 years, like, no, don't announce it. Please do not.
Looking at you, Kingdom Hearts.
So I agree with you. I do think that Xbox and Sony specifically have been doing a little bit better about that. Like the developer direct, that was all stuff that's coming relatively soon, right? Like this year. And then the state of play, also stuff that's coming relatively soon, like this year. So I think that's good. I think at least some developers are recognizing that and trying to be more conscious about that. and hopefully that continues.
In the same token, we are still waiting on Wolverine, which was announced 4 years ago.
That's true.
There's a Wolverine game? What?
Yeah, it's in the same universe as the Spider-Man games.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then we also don't know when Blade is coming when it comes down to it. There was no date given for that.
There's going to be a Blade game?
Yep.
Yep.
What?
There was actually an Insomniac leak a little while back naming a couple games that are in the Marvel sphere that are going to be releasing. But Blade and Wolverine are both already announced. They've already been announced. So, different.
Has there been any clarification, D, on the rumors about Microsoft exclusives going to PlayStation?
We'll hear more next week. It turns out, it looks like, so there was a rumor about, the rumor started with Hi-Fi Rush and Sea of Thieves, potentially. Then, some source cited Starfield as potentially doing so. And then some source also cited, I think, Gears of War as potentially doing so.
I heard Halo, but personally, yeah.
Yeah, I think Halo was potentially discussed too or something, but all this is rumors. And one of the people who announced the rumor about Starfield retracted it. So we'll see. This is why I don't put a lot of stock in rumors when it comes down to it. We'll see.
Right. It's one of the reasons I didn't bring it up earlier. I was just wondering if there had been announcements made or not.
There's a business meeting update coming this upcoming week from Phil Spencer and team. So that will add clarity.
The only reason why I feel like there may be some merit to all of this is that Larry Herb commented on it. He did say, hey guys, let's wait until we hear something. But, where there's smoke, there's fire usually. And I would say that this means something is happening. Not necessarily everything that's being said, but I would say that we are likely to see some sort of change in where Xbox games go.
But I'm okay with that with certain games. Like Sea of Thieves benefits from a larger audience. Hi-Fi Rush should be accessible to everyone. That's a fantastic game. I just have a problem with OLED. And we discussed this on Twitter a little bit too. Like my only concern is I want the Xbox value proposition to be high enough they continue to make Xboxes because people continue to purchase them. Like that's my main concern.
Well, you saw that announcement, Xbox said they're not going to stop making Xbox consoles.
Right. Well, that's an internal thing, but Phil did say that to the team. Yeah. But also that can change if people stop buying them, right? Like that's true.
Or if they become irrelevant.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a couple of ways that exclusive games could move to PlayStation and then not be irrelevant, right? Like it could be timed exclusives and such, of course. But it is interesting because I've not had a PlayStation now for 12 years or longer, and I find it really wild that we're still talking about like exclusive games in the year of our Lord 2024. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that this is still a conversation being had, especially when crossplay is so big on like third-party games that are available on everything.
My position on this, though, is that the world we live in, exclusives are a thing, right? And if PlayStation has all the exclusives plus all the other games, including all the Xbox games, then why buy an Xbox at that point? I think that is a valid concern that people could bring up. And I really like Xbox when it comes down to it. I like their console. I like their UI. I like the features that they offer. More importantly, I think having competition in the hardware space is good for everyone when it comes down to it. I think consumers absolutely benefit from that.
I was actually going to bring that up, that is absolutely true. But also, I have not purchased an Xbox Series console because there's no reason for me to. I have my PC, I've got Game Pass, and I've got an Xbox One X, which can do all of the apps, right? I can watch my Disney Plus on there, I can watch my YouTube on there, and still do it from the comfort of my couch without needing the newest console from Xbox.
Right.
So they're already putting themselves in a position of obsolenity. Did I just make up a new word?
I like it. Obsolinity. I'm gonna say it too.
Yeah. But you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they've already started moving in that direction, which is scary. I don't want PlayStation to not have a competition because Nintendo is not PlayStation competition.
Right.
And I say that as somebody who loves Nintendo. They're not competition. And that will drive prices up if PlayStation has no competition. They can do whatever they want if there's nobody else there. So
and we've seen, and I can tell you firsthand. I was just actually looking at my PlayStation's menu the other day, and I know for a fact it wasn't that good just half a year ago. They've made some improvements just because Xbox has existed on some level.
100%.
They definitely have actually had to work, and their team has actually worked on the UI a little bit, and even maybe the little bit of the store as well. And so this competition is good. I mean, you see it in all types of business. They don't need to stop. They need to figure out a way to balance. Okay, we want everybody to play our games, but still be relevant enough to keep making their Xboxes.
Yep.
I saw a rumor that Microsoft is working on an Xbox handheld to go into competition with the Switch. This is something I really want.
Agreed.
I don't have a Steam Deck. I've thought about buying one, but they're kind of expensive, and I don't have one, so I've never even seen one like in the wild. So I don't know how well they would work or like the battery life and such. But I would really love to have a portable console that is more powerful than the Switch. And I know before anyone says anything in this room or in this room online or like on the comments or whatever that, Johnny, why don't you play games on cloud? I don't really like playing cloud games. Like everyone talks about it's not that bad, but like playing it on cloud versus playing it installed, I noticed the difference.
Yeah. Cloud needs more investment when it comes down to it. It does. It's not there yet. It's closer.
If the handheld device is a device that only plays on cloud, I will be super disappointed. I want some kind of handheld device that I can put the game in or install the game and play. That would be incredible. I really want that. So we'll see. That would be really cool. Or the Switch 2, if they announce the Switch 2. But,
we'll see. Like, supposedly that gets announced relatively soon, but we'll see. Like, again,
this month
rumors,
or early
right?
next month, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's exciting.
Rumors is so hard to tell.
It is so hard.
The PlayStation 5 Pro, like, there's been rumors about that for, like, multiple years at this point, and we still don't know anything concrete.
PlayStation 5 Pro. What?
What if their handheld device comes out and they started using some sort of cartridges like, Switch does?
Well, I mean, I just digitally download everything, so it doesn't really matter to me.
I don't know. I just like the thought of what Switch does. I just really like, being able to like pop in the next game. I know that's kind of going the way of the dodo, if you will, but
no.
I
so
just
for my
like
son,
it. Nostalgia, man.
My son has a Switch, and I really like being able to buy physical games for him because then he can also trade them in if he wants and such. And but also the small form factor is really nice. Living in Japan, we don't have a lot of space, right? So like the fact that he can have so many games and they're not like Blu-rays, they're small, works really well. And yeah, I just want an updated Switch. You know what I mean? I want a Switch that can like actually run stuff.
Yeah,
like
stand by.
Yeah, I'm really hoping. I really am hoping for that because that would just be wonderful. It really would.
Well, and we've gotten to the place where the hardware is pretty much there. Now, when the Switch came out, the hardware, to be that small could have been a little bit better, but still wasn't quite there. I think we're about right there where the hardware has come enough, micro enough where they can get it in a handheld device like that. And we've seen it with phones. I mean, phones have come a long way, since when they first came out. It's crazy what you can play on your phone right now.
I actually was looking into buying a backbone for my phone to play games on my phone. Do you have one, Travis?
I don't have a backbone. I have the Razer Kishi, which is very similar, and I highly suggest it. I like it a lot.
They're great to have. The problem I have is just like, oh my gosh, I love the feel of my Elite. So Or even the series controllers too. Like, I mean, the series controllers with the grips.
Yeah. The problem I have is I have battery anxiety. So like I don't want to get into playing my phone all the time and then my phone's just dying all the time.
Right. Well, it kills your
That's
phone
fair.
battery super fast, and then also when you're playing a game on your phone, you can't use your phone for other things.
That's
So
true.
like that bugs me a little bit.
We talked about that last week. You just got to have that other phone.
On the topic of Switch 2, though, the rumor mill that I have heard, like we said, either sometime this month or early next month, some sort of announcement from Nintendo about it. And then on top of that, many months ago, the rumor mill was saying that it is going to be roughly the same power as a PS4. So that's not terrible. That's not bad. But it's also not current gen.
Why? Why do they do this?
Because it's Nintendo. And then what I was also going to say is, here's the thing is, I really hope that what you said about Xbox potentially making a portable console is true. Because if it is true, that becomes a space in which Nintendo has some sort of competition, right? And Nintendo needs competition because even though they're pumping out incredible games like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom and Super Mario Wonder and so on and so forth, they need more competition so that they're maybe scared a little bit. I want somebody to come up and scare Nintendo into being like, "Oh man, we need to do a little bit better." As much as I love Nintendo, they need that.
Well, I mean, it's just good. It's good with just like overall, they've got to actually look at their product and it's like, okay, guys, we can actually do better. We don't have to just, we don't have any pressure before, but now we have to actually work a little bit harder and let's scale it up. We can get those graphics a little bit better. We can pump out those titles. We can actually give everybody who's ever bought this game, their version without having to buy it 20 times over.
Or they're like, why don't we just come up with 2 different colors and re-release the same Pokemon game again? Or we could do that.
That would be on the Pokemon Company International. That would be on them, and they will do that.
They will still do that.
When they release the Pokemon games, the old generations 1 through 3 on the Switch, they're going to charge us $10 each, or they're going to make it an additional bundle on Nintendo Switch Online.
But also, they will charge that, and then it will not be compatible with the new Switch Pro.
Right.
So then you'll have to do it again.
And I'm still going to buy it because I suck.
Yeah.
No, but
I will buy
what about
Donkey
this
Kong
thought?
Country for the 5th time.
Did anyone have a PSP? I had
Never.
a PSP and I really liked it. I played Final Fantasy VII Crisis Core back on the PSP.
Were those discs?
They had their
UMDs.
Yeah,
Yes,
they were called
discs.
UMDs. It was like a little baby disc in a weird glass case. I loved that console. And I would love to see a market with like a switch to a Microsoft X Mini or whatever, or Microsoft Series M for mobile.
Ooh, I like it.
A PS
yeah.
version 2. What a great idea. That would be fantastic.
That would be so good. Oh, give me that future. And please name it the Microsoft Series M. Please. I love that. I love that.
They definitely won't.
The next Switch has all the things that you put on that post a couple weeks ago.
That post that you made.
The next Switch is backwards compatible to all your old Nintendo devices. Let's go. Also, another little thought. You guys heard the rumor about potentially Xbox being on Nintendo. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I'm ready. Give it to me.
You know what? I am ready for Microsoft games to run like crap on a Switch. Let's do it.
Yep.
Let's go. I'm ready.
Oh my goodness.
But PS4 isn't bad.
It's not bad. It's just so annoying. It's annoying. It's like imagine. Oh God, it's so annoying because it's not new, right? It's just so like they're like, guess what, guys?
But it is for the Switch. Hey guys, it's
right
new.
Now we're at PS2 level. Guess what? Guess what? We're gonna crank that baby up to the PS4. And it's like the console that we had like 8 years ago. That one? 10 years ago?
Disagree. I disagree that it's PS2 level. I think Pokemon games are PS2 level. You cannot sit there and tell me that Tears of the Kingdom looks like a PS2 game.
It does
There's
not.
no way.
Right. It looks like a PS3.5.
Yes, it does.
Yes.
I agree with that. But also, like, there is a good reason for them to keep the technology as cheap as they have. Now, do I think that they should only make it this way? No, I think that we should have tiered consoles.
Agreed.
You give me a Switch Pro and give me a Switch 2 and a Switch 2 Pro, right?
Yeah, two different levels. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what the Switch Lite is. But instead of just making a good version and a cheap version, they make a cheap version and a cheaper version, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It's if only one of these developers, one of these platforms had like introduced this model of like launching 2 different tiers at the same time and making one cheaper. Like I don't know, like, and you could have called it like, I don't know, some arbitrary letter
that developer,
like Series S and maybe like Series X. You know, like those are maybe not the
right.
most...
No, but that makes sense because Series X means expensive and Series S means cheap,
small. or cheap. I like small better, but okay.
S stands for cheap, David. Didn't you know that?
Yeah, no. S stands for poor. There's expensive and poor.
S tier is supposed to be better though. That's why I don't quite track there.
No, I just thought of that. That's it. That is so good. Xbox Series M, and it's a handheld. Oh,
it's so good. I love that idea, dude.
Yeah, I think that they introduced the letter system that they have now so that they could be a little bit more ranged in introducing new consoles, and I'm really curious to see how they use it.
Xbox Series P, it's a phone.
I'm willing to bet that the
Xbox
rumored,
Series T, it's a treadmill with a big screen on it that you can play games while you're walking.
I think the cloud drive that was rumored, where it's like a little device that you plug into your TV for cloud play, I think that actually has a letter designation too.
The Xbox Series
we just
C?
haven't seen it.
I think it's Xbox Series L for lame. I don't know. I am not on board with cloud gaming. It works, but it's not there. It's not there yet, and I wouldn't want to buy something that's the only option.
But I think that's also why they haven't released anything specifically for that yet, right? Like, I mean, the only thing that's been released for that so far has been like the handhelds that utilize like Wi-Fi or whatever.
Hey, do you guys remember when they released Xbox Smart Glass and it hung around for like 7 months and then disappeared?
Yeah. Well, that wasn't just Xbox too. Like a bunch of other like places introduced second screen experiences too. And none of that held on very long.
Yep. It reminds me of the time, when they Xbox, paired together the Kinect, and it just didn't do anything.
Xbox volume up.
Unfortunately, because they're really cool. It's a really cool idea. You have the smart glass, and you've got the Kinect, and you got all these voice activation, things, and you got Cortana, your personal AI basically, and all this stuff. And on paper, it sounds really awesome, but
Microsoft they don't do well at introducing things to people. So one of the things David and I were talking about last week was how the Apple Vision Pro is basically HoloLens,
right?
But Apple seems to be like successfully introducing it to people.
Well, they also probably waited to announce it, where I think Microsoft maybe tends to do the
too early,
announcing too soon.
Yeah,
they get on things too soon. It's unfortunate, but it's kind of like Zune. Like they had the whole music subscription service and everything too soon.
Yeah,
and they let it go too soon.
Yep, and then that's how we all do all of this. I remember DJD talking to me about his stupid Zune subscription and how great it is, and me thinking how lame it is. And here we are 15 years later, and that's how everyone listens to music.
It's like, are you kidding? Why would I pay a subscription to music that I already own? I want to own
why would I
music.
pay a subscription to music that I steal? Come on.
But Zune also gave you, I think, 2 or 3 DRM free credits to buy
Yes,
songs too.
yes.
I mean, like, geez, yeah,
The
ahead of its time. Ahead of its time.
The Apple Vision Pro, if you really think about it that way, and now you go back and watch some of their stuff, you're like, oh wow, this is exactly HoloLens. Like, I'm sure there's unique stuff about it, but that's what it is.
That is exactly what T-Pain was saying.
Oh, I didn't see T-Pain talk about it.
Yeah. So you got to go to his Instagram page and look for the video of him walking through the mall with his Apple headset on. He talks about how we let that die, and people were like, yeah, I don't want to wear the stupid glasses with the stupid camera on the side and whatever, but then we let that die, and now he's walking around with this bubble looking thing on his head in the mall, and he's never going to take it off. Like, exactly, guys. It was so much smaller, and it looked so, like, almost normal. Okay, we could have had that, and we said no. We let that die. T-Pain is right.
To be fair, HoloLens and Apple Vision Pro are both pretty doggone powerful, it seems. I mean, we'll see how well that translates as time goes on, but yeah.
I mean, the ski goggles right now, they're in, so it's okay. But once you get in summer, I mean, I'm a little worried. I guess then it's the scuba, this is a scuba mask. It's okay.
Yep.
I'm sure Apple will sell a little fan to air it out, and it'll cost like $1,000 as an attachment that you can add to your HoloLens, your Apple Vision Pro.
At least $399.99.
At least.
Is anybody else thinking what I'm thinking?
That you guys want to buy me an Apple Vision Pro for my birthday? That was 2 weeks ago.
Well,
yes, I
know.
that.
I wasn't thinking about that, but Ready Player One. I mean, I'm just,
I didn't watch that movie or read that book.
Movie's pretty good. I've not read the book.
I'm just thinking about the whole atmosphere of the whole VR technology and everything. Is like we're almost there. We just need that chair, the vests and all that.
I've heard a few interesting takes, like positive and negative on it, and I think we'll really see. But I do think that as far as like work goes and such, it doesn't seem that wild to me. You know what I mean? Like people start to be like, oh, that's super expensive and this. But like, I'm sitting here in this music studio. I've spent a lot of money here, and with the things that can do, it doesn't seem so wild to me to spend that money.
But isn't that always the case with tech though too, is that people need to figure out how to utilize it best to optimize it? Like we're only just now starting to see like games that are like truly deserving of the next gen title, right? Like I mean, like most of the games that transitioned were about the same.
And on that note, we're out of time, you guys. Travis, thank you so much for joining. Guys,
Thanks for having me.
Hold on. Before we end, we need to do some house cleaning here. Make sure you rate us. Give us 5 stars, ideally, but 1 star is okay too. I mean, 1 star is better than 0, really, if you think about it. You can follow us on social media. Rate us. Tell your friends about us. Ideally, make sure you like and subscribe and do all of those things. I've been trying to figure out how to end this podcast for a long time, and we just kept going. It was awesome. Maybe it's because Craig's not here. You know what I mean? Like I really felt like it flowed.
Craig isn't keeping us on time. He's just
it's been wild. But thank you guys so much. And anyone have anything to say before we wrap up?
Thanks, GR.
Yeah. And thanks, Travis, for joining. And do it again, man.
Thanks, Travis.
Yeah.
Come back. Please come back.